Song of the Avatar, Part 1 of Chapter 7, Wisdom. Yoga is the disciplining of the ego and the senses, and is practiced in order to help one realize and identify with the higher self, the Atman. In practicing yoga, one goes against the highly polished grain of the ego's self-centered thoughts, words, and actions. Like this? No, Arjuna, I'm not talking about the yoga of asana or physical exercise. I'm talking about spiritual wisdom and spiritual experience. Is there a difference between the two? Yes, there is. The highest spiritual wisdom is the direct unifying realization of the interconnectedness of life. This form of wisdom has been called self-realization, samadhi, enlightenment, and cosmic consciousness. The application of that wisdom to daily life is spiritual experience. Walking the spiritual path is not something that interests most people. And very few of the people who walk the path attain the goal of enlightenment in a single lifetime. Attempting to stop the motion of the mind in meditation goes against nature, and most people do not have the discipline or dedication needed to effectively pursue the practice. But eventually, everyone will reach that highest goal of spiritual wisdom. And this is why patience is called for on the path. Patience with oneself as well as with others. Okay, Arjuna, time for a pop quiz. What is Prakriti? Prakriti. We touched on that in Chapter 3, right? Right. I know. Prakriti is the physical universe. Could you be more specific? It's anything that changes, including the mind, thoughts, and emotions. Exactly. It's anything that goes through the cycle of birth and death. An excellent insight. Now, what is Purusha? Purusha is the unchanging, eternal reality that supports the physical universe of Prakriti. Good answer. One more question. What is the biggest mistake that humans tend to make in their lives? Ooh, that's a toughie. I would say that our biggest mistake is that we will usually identify with Prakriti instead of Purusha. There you have it. Another way of saying it is that people confuse the ego with divine spirit. They're choosing change and death as the only reality when they could be choosing being, consciousness, and everlasting bliss. Satchidananda. Go to the head of the class. Purusha is the essence of everything that exists in Prakriti. So divine spirit is the foundation of the physical universe. You've got it. It's in the taste of pure water. It's the light of the sun and the moon. It's in every sound, and it's the courage that humans show. It's the scent of the earth, the life force in all living things, and it's the effort of those who walk the spiritual path. Purusha is the seed of creativity that grows in every creature. From this seed, the flowers of intelligence, nobility, and strength blossom forth. Meditation removes the weeds of selfish desire from this inner garden. Lord Vishnu, the personification of Purusha, sleeps on a giant serpent in the sea of eternity. Vishnu dreams, and this dream is called Maya, manifesting as the world we live in. The fabric of Maya is woven with three qualities called the gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas, sometimes translated as goodness, energy, and inertia. All thought and perception are conditioned by Maya and the interaction of the gunas. The feeling of separation from others results from the dreamlike spell that Maya has cast upon the ego. A person's predominant guna determines the strength of that feeling of separation. Tamas is like an island with no awareness of others. Rajas feels a connection to others as a way of getting its needs met. Sattva expresses its perceived connection with others by serving them. Everyone who walks the spiritual path does so for different reasons, but most are led to the path by their suffering. Mental, physical, or spiritual suffering will ultimately force sufferers to change their ways by revealing to them their connection with others. Arjuna, whenever you see a person unselfishly serving and helping others, know that you are seeing Divine Spirit in action. In the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, souls will go through many lifetimes before they learn to see through Maya's illusion. And what they see then is the Divine Spirit that exists everywhere, filling the world with its light. Krishna, I hope that someday I will be able to see past Maya. You will, Arjuna. Have faith. What is faith? Faith is that which you believe in your heart of hearts. Some put their faith in things that separate them from others. Meditation will help spiritual seekers learn to place their faith in that which unites them with others, like the higher self. Right, the Atman, Divine Spirit, eternal reality, God, whatever you want to call it. Those who put their faith in the higher self will start remembering who they really are and will strive to apply spiritual values to their daily lives. But it takes time for faith to grow. The Tao Te Ching says that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. The journey on the spiritual path, however, begins with a leap of faith. To take that leap onto the path, one needs to have faith in what mystics have been teaching throughout history. Once upon a time in India, the Buddha was teaching in a small village. And that is nirvana. I have a question. Yes? Okay, so nirvana sounds cool, and I think we'd all like to go beyond the reach of sorrow and death. But the eightfold path that you describe sounds like it's a lot of work. That's right, a lot of hard work. What if we do all this work and find out in the end that we've wasted our lives? How do we even know that there is such a thing as nirvana? Aren't there some mountains somewhere north of this village? Yes. Those are the Himalaya mountains. Have you ever seen those mountains? No, not personally. I've never even left this village. Then how do you know that the mountains exist? Everyone knows that the Himalayas exist. My father told me all about them when I was a child. So your father saw the Himalayas? Well, not really. His father's uncle saw them back when my grandfather was a young boy. Perhaps your grandfather's uncle liked to tell tall tales. My grandfather's uncle was not a teller of tall tales. You have taken quite a leap of faith, believing the words of an ancestor who you never met. Why is it that you can't have faith in the words of one who has experienced nirvana and is standing right here in front of you? Master. Chapter 7 will be continued in the next video. Namaste.